Now, we all know the children's song, right?
Right.
First comes love, then comes marriage, then comes baby in the baby carriage.
Sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes.
Well, family planning isn't as simple as the song makes it seem. Our relationship expert, Kat Robey, is here to help us through some of the strains that can come along with that. Kat, how are you?
A lot of pressure. Hi, I'm great. How are you guys?
Doing really well.
Yeah.
Doing really well.
But it, you know, like they said, the song, this, that, and another comes along.
It nailed it, didn't it?
Right.
I mean, as soon as you're married, boom, when you're going to have the babies. That's the biggest conversation anyone can offer you at that point.
Yes, but it can be a little stressful. I know people in my own personal life that are trying to have babies or had in the past were trying to have babies, and that can sometimes be a little awkward in a relationship if you guys aren't getting to where you want to be in the time frame you want to get it there.
Yeah, that's a great way to say that.
Yeah.
And you might not actually ever get there either,
Yep.
which I think is something else people need to at least have in their realm of awareness, because not only is there so much pressure, I mean, this is life-changing. There's the way that we're going to talk about it today is so tiny compared to just how immense this whole topic is. So to try to say, oh, do this or don't do that is like putting a Band-Aid on something, just kind of bleeding out. It's really important to understand the depth of the conversation, but as well as take into account your partnership. You know, are you still a partner with your partner, even if there are no children there to make you a family?
Yeah.
You know, sometimes people really get into this with their fur babies, you know, and that's their family. Or how you define your family is what really we're getting down to. And if it only exists if you have children, and unfortunately that's a place people can land. And then there's all of this pressure about what's it going to be like if we don't, who are we as a family if we're not, what about the timing, what about checking the calendar, oh, and now our intimacy has become this chore that we have to do when the timing is just right and the temperature levels, and all of that is great. And at the same time, having some balance in that, recognizing that it's going to take a big toll on your connection day to day.
Yep.
And how do you do that? How do you find that balance? Because for a lot of people, having a child, starting a family is so important. What weight counterbalances that? Yeah,
you really have to be mindful on this one, because it's such a big deal, and it's a game changer, and at the same time, it's too much pressure will also help it not happen. So you really have to be aware of, okay, you know what, I'm thinking about this all the time. You know, I was trying to think of equating this to something where people can get into it and really lose themselves in it, like a new hobby, or, you know, and you learn all about it and all the techniques and all the different ways something can happen. You really can fall into just that ideology in any situation. But in this one, because it's so meaningful, you're going to be thinking about it all the time. You're going to be thinking about what you're eating, how often you're having any sort of intimate connection. All of these things are happening. And for you, and you're so energized about it, you won't really recognize that, oh, you know, this is all we talk about anymore.
Yep.
So you really being able to do some things intentionally, like maybe keeping a journal to put your emotions in. Like maybe there's going to be highs and low days. Maybe there's going to be a period of time where, no, every month you can tell that maybe you haven't gotten pregnant yet as a family. Like, or, you know, there's lots of different ways that people are creating family. Maybe there's a surrogate out there working with you and it's not going well. However it's working, the timing of it and the pressure, and realizing that you're not comparing yourself to other people, other families, their timing, their number of children. So many resentments can be formed because you're watching what everyone else has instead of recognizing what you actually have in your life, in your job, in your partnership. Do you see what I mean? So being able to check in with that, journal, spend some time talking about it. I see you want to talk. I'm sorry.
You said that, and I thought how it can cause a strain on your own relationship, but if you are friends with somebody that was easily able to conceive a child, it may cause a strain on that relationship too.
Absolutely.
I never would have thought of that.
This is such a drop in the bucket.
Drop in the bucket. And from family, from extended family wanting it for you, friends that you might be comparing yourself to, like, it just goes through these layers and layers, which is why it is important to talk about it. But it's important to talk about it not just with your partner, who is part of, you know, whether it's working or not. You know, you can kind of take on this feel of something's wrong with me, or something's wrong with the process, or you're not doing something right, or we're not doing it at the right time, and it's just like, oh my gosh, now we're not having any fun connection. So there's another thing you can do. Make sure that you're having just fun time. Make sure it's in the calendar. You know, make sure that you have outside support, friends or family members, or, you know, there's lots of online forums and support groups even for talking about this kind of thing. that can be very in detail, very much in the whole semantics of how everything's going to go, but then also keep it so that it's not the only thing that you and your partner are connecting about, you know?
So what I'm kind of taking away from this, I mean, also taking into what you were saying about like outside support, also make sure family isn't putting extra pressure, you know, mom or dad saying, when are we going to get grandkids? Like, again, just another layer in this. But what I'm taking away from what I'm hearing you say is remember to enjoy where you're at now, enjoy being happy, the fun times now, because that portion, whatever's going to happen, you're going to miss out on now of being happy if you don't kind of refocus and everything. But that's why I have you on.
Yes.
Because you come on and
Perfect.
you kind of remind us that there's still good things going on, even if, you know, you're in the process of doing something.
And it's the biggest thing that people can do in their daily life is just recognize what is working,
Yeah.
not just what's not working. So in this process too.
And I know we're going to see you a little bit later. We're going to talk more about how children and marriage and how that all works out. But I want to thank you so much for coming in. Zach, did you learn something?
I did. All right here. All right
No, for even more relationship advice, call Kat Robey at 906-3392 or go online to robeycounseling.com.